There's a few sewing machine things that sound really obvious that you think to yourself, well, no one needs to explain these. And then you use your sewing machine and you realize maybe someone should have explained those things to you. I got 4 sewing machine basics that seem like they should be obvious, but they're not. Oh man, the first one, your machine, it will keep sewing after the bobbin runs out. And by keep sewing, I mean the needle is gonna keep moving, your fabric is gonna keep moving, and the top stitch, it's still going to be created. Your sewing machine is still making sewing machine noises, but absolutely nothing of value is happening. And it's a really easy mistake to make because the top spool, it's really obvious. It's right there, you can see it, it's very visual, but the bobbin underneath your sewing machine there, it's kind of hidden. It's tucked away in a place where you don't really think about it too much. It's set it and forget it in a lot of ways. I'm SD, and if you're new, I show guys like you how to tailor their own clothes at home, but hold on, you've been warned, because it's the most addicting thing in the entire world. So if you're up for the challenge, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Again, you've been warned. And this has happened to me so many times. It's ridiculous. So as an example, there's been times where I'll be altering a pair of dress pants and I'll be sewing along, minding my own business. Everything is going fine. And as it starts to happen to you more often, your sewing machine, the noise that it makes, it changes ever so slightly. But if you don't know what to look for, you're not gonna notice it. So I'm minding my own business, sewing along, and then I think that I'm done, and I stand up and I look at my pants and I realize that I've sewed like the last 10 inches with nothing going on. It's just like one piece of thread that's kind of hanging there. And your sewing machine, it gives 0 Fs. It does not care at all. It'll keep doing its thing. Now, the reason why that happens is because your machine, it needs 2 different pieces of thread in order to create a stitch. And it's not really taking inventory as to whether or not either of those 2 pieces of thread are there. It doesn't care. Now, that top thread, it comes down from the spool there and goes through your needle, and then the bottom thread, it comes up through the bobbin there, and your needle kind of like, it basically combines the 2 like that, like ebony and ivory. That bobbin is so easy to forget that a really good rule of thumb is when you start a project, make sure you check that bobbin every single time. What ends up happening is the bobbin is gonna hold a pretty good amount of thread, so you're not really gonna think about it. You're gonna just handle your business and then put your machine away. Take it out, handle your business, put your machine away. But remember, check that bobbin because it's most likely gonna run out at some point. And again, your machine, 0 Fs. The second one is there is no pushing or pulling when it comes to sewing your garment. And that's a really difficult habit for beginners to break because they think that they're helping the process. If they're doing any kind of pushing, if they're pushing their dress shirt through, they think, hey, you know what, machine, I'm doing you a favor, you're welcome. But the machine, it's already got that covered. It's got what are called feed dogs, those little teeth that you're gonna see at the very bottom of the seam plate there. They have one job. They move that fabric along for you. And the speed and the pace at which those feed dogs do their job, it keeps all of the timing in line too, as far as when the needle comes down, when it goes back up, the garment feeds forward, all that kind of stuff. All that timing is key. But if you start doing some pushing or pulling of your garment, not only are you throwing that timing all out of whack, what you're doing is you're stretching your garment too. So what you're doing is you're stretching a piece of fabric, putting a stitch in it, and then as soon as you let go, the fabric goes back to its original shape, and that stitch that you put in there, it's gonna be all warped and puckered and wavy, and you're gonna wonder why. It's probably that. And it's an even bigger deal for denim, because when you are working with denim, the needle that you're working with, it's already gonna be stressed because that denim is thicker than a lot of other garments. So the needle is stressed, you're pushing or you're pulling on that denim, you're adding more stress to that needle, and guess what's gonna happen? It's gonna break and it's gonna go pink and it's gonna go hit you in the eye. It probably won't do that, but that's always been my biggest fear, so I like to point that one out. Make sure that your presser foot is down when you're sewing, and you also want to make sure that that your machine isn't having to fight gravity at all for your garment. So as an example, if you're working with a pair of pants, it's really easy for half of the pair of pants to be kind of hanging over the side of your table or whatever it is that you're sewing on. So all the gravity, it's pulling those pants down and is putting extra stress on your machine there. So your feed dogs, they're kind of being pulled out of alignment there because of that. So make sure that's not the case as well. And if it is, just take it and make sure it's not on the floor and make sure everything is nice and even. Ooh, this third one. You gotta make sure that your take-up lever, when you thread your machine, that the thread goes through the take-up lever. And backing up a little bit, you wanna know what a take-up lever even is. And this one is so easy. It's so ridiculously easy to miss because it's hidden. Your take-up lever in your machine, it's kinda hidden. It's that little hook that you see that pops up as you're sewing along. It's gonna go up and then it's gonna come back down and go up and come back down. It's gonna control the path of the needle, or it's gonna move the thread with the needle there. Now again, it's gonna be hidden, tucked away in there a lot of times. So you're like, what's a take-up lever? I don't know, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna thread my machine and follow the numbers and I'm good, right? No, you're not. Because if your thread isn't in that take-up lever, it's not being controlled by your machine properly. Your machine's gonna make some angry sewing machine noises. It's gonna end up bird nesting on the very bottom or top of your garment, and you're gonna get mad and want to throw your sewing machine at the wall. And you're like, hey, why did this guy tell me that tailoring my own clothes was easy? This sucks. Don't worry. I got you. It's actually a pretty simple, easy fix. When you are threading your machine, you want to take the hand wheel. You want to turn it towards you and turn it all the way to when your take-up lever, you see it sticking up there. You're gonna see it. It's gonna have a little hook on the end of it. Make sure when you're threading it, you thread it through that hook. So if your sewing machine, if it's acting like a POS and you want to blame like your tension or anything else like that, check that first. Make sure your thread went through the take-up lever. That's usually the most common one, and yeah, it's really annoying. This fourth one is piggybacking off of something that I just said. Do you know what it is? It's the hand wheel. It's got a very particular direction. When you turn that hand wheel, you always want to turn it towards you. Never, ever, ever away from you. Now the hand wheel is the large wheel on the side of your sewing machine there that allows you to control it manually. And it's great because a lot of times your machine might struggle a little bit, especially if you are hemming a pair of jeans and you come up to a pretty thick piece of denim. You can help your machine through it by turning the wheel manually and helping it guide through manually. But beginners, that's where they get a little bit tripped up because they think, whatever, it doesn't matter which way I turn this wheel. I'm gonna turn it this way or that way or the other way. No. It does matter because if you turn it the incorrect way, if you turn it away from you, is it gonna damage anything right then and there? No, probably not, but the damage is gonna be cumulative to where it's gonna end up throwing the timing off of your sewing machine as time goes on, and you don't wanna do that because you're gonna have a bad time. It's kind of like the transmission in your car. Can you go in reverse for like short amounts of time and short distances? Yeah, it's fine. Can you drive from like, I don't know, Eden Prairie to Fridley all the way in reverse? No. My Minnesota friends know what that means. See, none of these things require advanced sewing knowledge. They seem like they're pretty basic, but at least somebody pointed them out for you. And now that you know that, let's go do something fun. Let's go shorten a pair of jeans. Yeah, it's in the next video. We got a hemming tutorial over there. I will see you over there. ST out. See ya.